Worldwide parent coach and conscious educator Sue DeCaro is on a mission to revitalize the joy in parenting. Welcome to Conscious Parents, Thriving Kids, a podcast designed to help parents all over the world create deeper connections with themselves and their children while overcoming life's daily parenting challenges. Listen in if you want to bring more laughter, love, and enjoyment to your home life.
Welcome to Conscious Parents, Thriving Kids, a place for all things parenting. I am your host, Sue DeCaro. Today, I thought it would be a wonderful opportunity for this episode to talk about fighting boredom with creativity. I'm sure day after day, many of us are finding our children are bored. As we navigate these unprecedented times, it seems that now, more than ever, is the time to teach and guide our children in different ways. As parents, our days have become consumed with managing our household, doing our job from home, teaching our children, helping them navigate virtual learning, perhaps we're homeschooling, and talking to our families appropriately about what is going on in the world, while also needing to keep our own emotions and anxieties in check. Talk about exhausting. Maybe you're finding it exhausting as well. For children, however, spending more time at home means more opportunities to complain about being bored. So has boredom shown up in your child's day? Are you hearing this as a struggle your child is experiencing? Studies have shown that not only is boredom a good thing, but it is extremely necessary for our children. Boredom actually encourages our children to find their imagination and creativity. Now that we have so much more downtime and time at home, this is even more important. So many parents are concerned that during this time, children will become screen addicts. Is this something that concerns you? It is a valid concern. We can use our screens to find new creative ideas and activities, though. For example, our kids can look up so many things on YouTube and learn how to cook something, make a movie, create an art project, make paper mache, set up an obstacle course, learn a new language, take physical activity indoors or out in the yard if it's not too cold, find new card games for the family, and so much more. Making a beautiful chart or wall hanging of what our kids can use as a go-to when they're bored can help them. It allows them to be free to look in the moment and not feel the pressure to think at that time. So, for example, on days where you're all together as a family, create a list. Create a space where you can list all sorts of ideas and thoughts on what kids can do, coming from them, what your kids can do in times of boredom. And then when they are bored, remind them to look at the board they created and pick something that speaks to them. It is so important that all beings, all of us, have a space to be creative. Creativity often shows up when we don't schedule it or command that it comes to us. Instead, it takes time, intention, and attention. We all have more time on our hands, and using this time to be creative can benefit us in so many wonderful ways. Creativity is equally as important for us adults as it is for our children. There are so many opportunities to tap into this as a wellness practice for us adults. Engaging in creative endeavors offer us a variety of outcomes, including a decrease in depression, an increase in positive emotions. It reduces our stress response, and even can improve immune system functioning. Immune system functioning. We all need that right now. So by encouraging creativity in our kids and demonstrating it ourselves by being creative, we are also doing something for all of us in terms of our health. And these are proven. So how can parents help children to be more creative? What do our kids need in order to be in the flow? What talents and abilities do you see in your children that you think they enjoy? Are they musical? Are they creative in the kitchen? Have they not been given an opportunity to really look at what ignites them? These are where true gifts lie. How do you create space for creativity in your family? What does that look like? I encourage you to have an arts and crafts arena. Maybe even create an area where people can do puzzles. Sure, it's a little bit messy and it might not be, the organization that you might like in your home. I'm pretty organized myself, so I get that. But when you have this space already out and it's not tucked away in a closet somewhere, it is far more enticing to want to do a puzzle or want to step into arts and crafts or coloring or painting, because there are the items in front of you that you need to do it. And also, what do you do as a family for fun that doesn't involve a screen and allows for creative thought and play? How can you come together as a family? One of my favorite games that we used to play when my kids were younger was the board game called Balderdash. Perhaps you've heard of it. This game allowed us to learn the definition of a word, but at the same time be creative in trying to come up with a definition that others might believe was the right one. We used our brain and command of the wonderful English language to be creative in making up definitions. There was a ton of laughter and a lot of rolling around on the floor because it's a fun and a funny game. Creativity is crucial. As PBS The Whole Child describes, creative experiences can help our children express and cope with their feelings. And as we continue adjusting to a new way of life that can be especially hard on our children, it is important that they have an outlet or many outlets. The Whole Child also explains that creativity also fosters mental growth in children by providing opportunities for trying on new ideas and new ways of thinking and problem solving, adding that creative activities help acknowledge and celebrate children's uniqueness and diversity, as well as offer excellent opportunities to personalize our teaching and focus on each child. When we allow for the time and space for our children to tap into their creativity, we see remarkable things appear. One of my clients was trying to engage her boys in creative play. This mom felt that her kids were on screens too much. Working together, we created a plan to set up something that was intriguing for them and did not incorporate technology. Instead of making demands, this mom worked hard to create a visible place in their house for painting and coloring, as I mentioned before. Creativity at its finest. When the space was done, nothing too elaborate, just visible, she was amazed at how much time her kids spent participating in activities with paint, stencils, crayons, pencils, etc., tapping into the creative side of their brains. So, how can you work to create boundaries as well as offer a space for creative thought, exploration, and connection? I challenge you over the next few weeks to really step into that realm of thought in creating space in your home for this process. Even if it's in the kitchen, having items out for your kids so they can cook a meal or create their own breakfast or make a dessert. It's a beautiful opportunity for them to learn and grow in their competency and their new ways of moving through boredom. Creativity is a beautiful gift. Thank you for joining me, and remember, every moment is a new moment for conscious connections.
Thanks for listening to Conscious Parents, Thriving Kids. If you like what you heard, the best compliment you can give us is to share this podcast with a friend. And be sure to give us some stars and a favorable review at Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen in.